What does it take to make the most amazing build in Skyrim? This is a question I asked myself many times going into this video. And with all build videos and theory crafting in general, you have to think about hypotheticals and the what ifs. Like, what if a skeever could panel beat a Ford Escort? What if a cat could study for 15 years and hold an accredited academic medical degree and be a practicing orthopedic surgeon? What if this cat then performs surgery on a skeever who has an injury related to automobiles? Or what, do you think none of this makes sense? Well, how about you shut yourself my mouth up? I'm not here to make sense, I'm here to entertain. And a build I've come up with is at the very least moderately entertaining, probably, by virtue of it being the most ingenious and overpowered build ever invented. So powerful that we will never even have to lift a weapon or deal any damage ourselves. The perfect build. Guy dies, eldritch horror warps into various melds of human and non-human monstrosities, and Snorbened is born. The instrument of my imagination, the culmination of all the what-ifs I've ever asked. You could argue that one look at this man does deal damage, irreparable damage to all who witness. But no, you are wrong. He is a very handsome boy and I love him. Running away through the ruins on a Helgen is part and parcel of being a scared young man or thing, powerless to the whims of hardship. At least for now, for the ascension of Snorbin is soon to be upon us. The first thing we're going to attempt is to pickpocket Sven of all his items to get some pickpocketing skill levels. Pickpocketing skill levels are going to be very important to this build. But instead of grabbing his lockpicks, money and jewelry, I accidentally keep grabbing his silky full buttocks, which results in the repeated murder of Snorbened, who continuously fails because he's born into a game a sad, pathetic, unambitious nobody with no skill. But this is soon to change. It would be nice to have some pickpocketing skill right off the bat, but this will probably have to wait. For this has brought to light that we need a reliable couple methods of defending ourselves, being that we are shown our mortality by this spoony bard. We desperately fight for our survival and run from these wolves to Whiterun, where we take the carriage to Riften. From here we make our way to a very super duper top secret skooma den, infiltrate the skooma den and pick up the spellbook Telekinesis. I mean, did you really think I wasn't going to get this? I then absolutely book it out of there before I'm turned into a very tasty man-meat vampire snack uwu. I very calmly make my way back towards Riften despite more wolves, avoid unsolicited canvases at all costs, and make my way into the Ratway tunnels beneath the city. We are going here with a very singular purpose in mind. Bear traps. In the base game you cannot pick these up, but this build requires a mod so that you can. I trick this master pugilist into stepping on his own traps until his untimely death. This is but a taste of my power that is to come. A little scuffed and rough around the edges, but a tasty snack, maybe salty. It is clear to me, however, that bear traps could use a buff. Observe. A sewer-dwelling murder hobo riding a mad skooma high.
Dovakin, Fahin, Kokan, Mutra.
With 4 bear traps in our inventory and a telekinesis spell learned, I can showcase the first best reason why this is the perfect class. Anonymity. Take Grelod the Kind, for instance, lovingly addressing the children. She takes no mind of the absolute brick crouching in the back there in the shadows. Grelod the Kind gives everyone the benefit of the doubt, a pure soul. But oh god, there's a bear trap behind her. I stand in a personal space to warn her. She's horrified of the man before her and takes one step back. Oh no, how has this happened? Will somebody think of the children? SMH my head, this is unbelievable, for real, no cap. In any case, this is one way this build can be a lethal and inconspicuous assassin. But what if I told you we can bolster this with pickpocketing in order to achieve power of a galactic scale? That's right, back to pickpocketing. And there's one way to power level pickpocketing without the use of Sven's cushy though impoverished cheeks. And this is by going to any hold capital, in this case Windhelm, and pickpocket all of the noble's gems as if you're doing Thanos performance art. You see, the pickpocketing experience and difficulty is proportionate to both the value and weight of the item you're stealing. Gems in this case give you the most experience because they're valuable, while also being the easiest to pickpocket because they're light. And all these plebeians just walk around the marketplace with pockets full of infinity stones and crown jewelry. When Snorbin isn't being caught for pickpocketing, attacked, and then instantly forgiven on account of having severe Racemenu related facial ailments, no amount of slamming into a solid cast iron standing sign will fix. We steadily creep our way up to pickpocketing 40, which allows us to pick up the skill Poisoned. This skill allows us to plant harmful poisons into NPCs' inventories. Not to be confused with potions. Potions are good, poisons are the opposite of good, resulting in results such as found in my scientific testing results. You see? With all the tools for this build to become, I don't know, like semi-functional at best, I go on a journey to collect the materials required for the best potions and poisons I can. Death bells, pretty flowers, some dodgy fungi that we occasionally consume for that sweet, sweet psychedelic embrace as release from the pain of this mortal coil, and cannabis root. Having acquired as many potions as we could ask for at this point, we head to Whiterun, which for some reason by the grace of Todd Howard does not load in correctly. Blessed are we to experience naked Whiterun, but there's not time to observe the smoothness of these hills. We work the forge to create and upgrade more bear traps. Now that we're fully equipped with an arsenal of upgraded bear traps and our dashing good looks, it's time to cash in on our stolen infinity stones and various other illegally acquired paraphernalia and or junk to a fence. And that's only accessible by joining the Thieves Guild, which is thematically on point considering we are now very lethal in ways most subtle. Initiation into the Thieves Guild is fairly straightforward. I have to intimidate 3 shopkeepers into paying the guild their protection money, but because I have a very friendly, lovable yet boyish face, they do not take me seriously. So I resort to another strategy. Subterfuge. This lizard wants to throw down. I do not. It goes against the ethos of my godly build. But like how big nerds talk about how Batman could beat Superman with enough #prep time, Slurpeendorp has himself established an elaborate ruse that all but guarantees victory. Kirava steps on our masterfully planted bear trap, gives up all hope and is no longer hostile. Old mate Volwolf then rocks up and steps on our trap, which enrages Miol, who decides to end his life.
No sign of him.
Oh, what happened?
You must be one of those wizards from the college in Winterhold.
Anyway, this doesn't resolve the issue, so I challenge her to pay again. She walks into my elaborately planted trap again, gives up all hope and is no longer hostile. She then waltzes into another one I placed just behind that, which puts her in the dirt. A testament to the genius that is Batman Snorbin. Bercy is another one of the shopkeepers we resolve issues with by use of paralysis, and then our immense yet subtle and artistic placement of traps.
Hello, welcome to the Pond Prawn.
Helga is a third and has her psyche completely destroyed and her AI broken as a result of the egregious use of our overwhelmingly masculine and overpowered Skyrim combat build. Look at how powerful we are. Testosterone. There's just one problem. Brynjolf won't progress the quest unless they're still alive. But such is the power of this build, even in its early stages, that I cannot help the level of destruction left in my wake. I roll back my save, handle the disputes with dialogue. Join the Thieves Guild. Sell all of our spoils to the fence for gold. What's the use of having a massively overpowered build if you can't be rich while doing it? And commence the next quest to give you all a proper taste of what Snorblibbensnarf is truly capable of. Our objective is to infiltrate Goldenglow Estate for Maven Blackbriar, burn some of the beehives and steal some nondescript items or something. But truly I wasn't really present for the dialogue. I wish only to destroy. But we have another problem. We're not really well suited to being caught out of stealth and then assailed by multiple angry guards with a vested interest in the Bee Movie and bees. Except we are, because we can place a row of traps and run back and forth continuously, resetting them on the way past, while our bee simps single-mindedly and repeatedly step on them. I am unstoppable. This works excellently for multiple melee attackers, but what about ranged attackers? Well, you see, some things don't need a solution because I pretend the archers don't exist. Now you might be thinking, that was a bit scuffed, best guest. I'm losing faith in this build, best guest. Well, how about you plug up your gaping mouth spout? Because I'm about to take you on a ride through tactical espionage actionsville. Watch this sick paralysis poison into bear trap combo. Okay, I guess we're just standing there in our chair now. We'll go with the double whammy paralysis potion into faceplant attack. We get spotted by a second silly sausage who steps on our traps. Very tactical. Plant a couple more so that our paralyzed friend has some to step on too when he wakes up. That's absolutely brutal. Like the 2 guards downstairs, sometimes things go perfectly and the pieces just fall into place. Most times, however, no matter the amount of preparation, sometimes things just go wrong. 4 bear traps placed, but only 1 guard is taken down. But who you are is not how you fail. It's how you keep getting back up that defines you. I think you should always be yourself, but absolutely shouldn't be yourself if who you are is an idiot. Like this guard. That's my profound wisdom for you. Speaking of idiots, I'm supposed to get the key to the basement from this guy. But obviously while I'm in his pockets, I plant a poison so that I can giggle as he faceplants. Place some traps. He wakes up and enters the bookcase. Nice. I steal his priceless statuette, which turns him hostile.
That's the best you can do?
Another Batman masterclass. I hope you're all learning something. Back downstairs we go to escape. And like in a real heist movie segment, more guards have arrived, seen the dead bodies, and in proper Skyrim fashion have come to the conclusion that they were probably just hearing things. Must have been the wind. Initially the guards are quite mid, so I place some traps to outsmart them, but they aren't just mid, they're sus. And dare I say, cringe-pilled. It was clear this guy was made from concentrated invincibility when walking around like this, so I make the highly controversial decision to alert the guards on this stealth mission, which for some reason works even better. God, I love Skyrim. Our escape serves as evidence of the immense power of this build, but would you believe me if I told you this could become even stronger?
You're an idiot.
Oh, that's right, yes we can. We're going to get our pickpocketing skill level to 100, and there's no better place to do this than Solitude, with all the townsfolk gathered in one place to watch a family-friendly public execution. Initially this goes quite well, but no matter the heights of your pickpocketing skill, you'll only get a success rate as high as 90%, meaning there's a chance you'll accidentally grope your chosen target while your hands are in their pocket. Once finished here, I go to the Blue Palace, the place you'd think has the most security in all of Skyrim. I get caught. I bribe the guard in front of Jarl Elisif and all of her other various advisors, which just allows me to continue. Obviously, I also poison and paralyze Queen Skyrim while I'm here because it's just like, why not? When we get to pickpocketing 100, we want to take the perks Misdirection and Perfect Touch. These skills amazingly allow you to pickpocket weapons and equipped items. Observe this totally balanced perk in action. I now have his clothes and he is free of his earthly burdens, free to roam the wilds, none the wiser.
Get away from me!
There are two more things we want to do before we unleash our massively upgraded build on Tamriel. So we return to Whiterun, which is unloaded again by the good grace of Todd Howard. We go to Farengar and learn the spells Calm and Courage. You see, we want to get our illusion skill to 50 for the perk Quiet Casting, which allows us to silently cast spells while in stealth and avoid detection. And the quickest way to level illusion is to spam cast Calm or Courage onto the nearest friendly targets, because these spells are not hostile and they don't do anything to stop you. In my case, my target is Jarl Balgruuf, despite the various threats of violence Irilith deals us while doing so. Ha! Somewhere along the way I get confused with what I'm supposed to do and accidentally disenchant my equipped clothing. I think enchanting is just probably part of my Skyrim muscle memory or something. Fortunately, we have an old friend here we can visit.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Now wearing Nazeem's kindly donated clothing, the second thing we want to do is get our alteration skill to 70, which also happens to be quite straightforward. Albeit bugged like a motherfucker, such as when Milla Valentina calmly bumps a piece of cheese we telekinesis a couple seconds ago and instantly dies. This results in an arrow in our face, but at least we can have some fun doing this. One of my favorite activities to do while passively leveling my alteration skill is to launch objects in the air, kind of like a game of chance. Will we kill someone? Will someone get hurt? Whatever the case, it can't be more embarrassing than walking into a wheel of cheese. I try to experiment and go outside town to see if alteration levels faster while you're in combat. I am quickly reminded that mana regeneration is slower in combat, and because I'm in combat I can't cheese the weight system to restore it. So I handle the bandits with the use of guile and overwhelming masculinity. I launch this bucket into the sky repeatedly until I get 70 alteration, witnessing only minor physics related bugs. Really quite tame for Skyrim in truth. The reason we want 70 alteration is because it's the level at which Tolfdir at the Mages College will sell the Paralysis spell. We do some speaking with Feralda and she grants us access into the Mages College. Without much input at all really. And we do Tolfdir's lessons relating to wards and blocking spells or something. I don't know, apparently Snorbin Bobble Snorf passes with flying colours. Now that a build is complete, I rest up for the night. Remember we killed Grelod the Kind? Well, a day later the courier handed us this note. This letter came from the most pretentious faction in the game, the Dark Brotherhood. The Dark Brotherhood are mad because we killed Grelod the Kind when they were supposed to kill Grelod the Kind. However, they don't know she accidentally stood on a bear trap that was there for some reason. After receiving this note, this faction will kidnap us as soon as we fall asleep. And the thought that they followed me around waiting for Snorbened to sleep is amusing to me. Amusing because this would mean they followed him around full well knowing he worked single-mindedly to amass massive power for 3 sleepless weeks. While our kidnapper Astrid is still speaking, we pickpocket her entire inventory, and she doesn't notice that she is now completely naked, defenseless, and being recorded for YouTube, perhaps even OnlyFans. We tickle her with a spell of paralysis, which does no damage, but she charges, barefooted us on our traps. Neck minute, Astrid space program. I give this one a 9 out of 10, stuck the landing. Hashtag Space Jam. Call me dramatic, but there's no better way to show you how much of a bamboozle this build is than by taking the bamboozle to the master bamboozlers themselves. The Dark Brotherhood. Masters of stealth and assassination. Of espionage. of expecting the unexpected, but they do not expect a bear trap wielding gremlin wearing Nazeem's clothing to come on in and dab on all their traditions and customs by outsmarting them at their own game. If their own game were charging at the enemy, again barefoot, tripping over and dying. 5 out of 10. A masterful demonstration of what can go wrong when you try to do push-ups with your face. But this guy Arnbjorn is an imbecile. How about the rest of them? Fazira is a wily character. I stealthily paralyze him, which results in 8 seconds of him helplessly holding his face over the open forge flames. We place our traps, but there's a slight misplacing and miscalculation of the damage to be dealt. So we adjust in the middle of the encounter, and our slithery friend slips right over all of our traps. Yeah, I'm not going to do a rating for this. I disqualify myself for tampering with a trap mid-performance. Vizira is dead though. Festus Big Chestus is an old man minding his own business when Snorb God sneaks up behind him, takes all of his things, undresses him, and paralyzes him. I place a number of traps in the room with the intention of just walking out and letting the old man wander over them. But after a long time waiting outside wondering what this naked old dude could be doing, I open the door to reveal that he's absolutely terrifying even when unarmed. Having freshly shit myself, I trust in the plan, and Festus the Bestest does indeed wander into the traps behind closed doors, because he is extremely old and there's no escaping the call of the void. 10 out of 10, geriatric. Nazir is the would-be fidget spinner of the Dark Brotherhood. Imagine, if you will, you allow someone to sensually strip yourself from behind over a couple minutes, and when you turn around you see Skyrim Macaulay Culkin. You turn hostile, you decide to follow him into the next room in a straight line thinking there won't be traps for you. 3 out of 10, maximum Skyrim mode. Never should have come here. Gabriella is my favorite out of all of the aforementioned members, because when I paralyze her, she reminds me of why Skyrim is still the premier open world RPG, and why Todd the God Howard should be the president of the universe. I take everything she owns, inclusive of dignity, and allow her to run after me through their hideout Scooby-Doo style. She thinks her scantily clad form has scared me off, but it hasn't. This is the thrill of the hunt. Pretty sure by the end she hadn't even seen me, and our deformed scowl turns into a... yeah. I think this is justification enough. You've seen Snorben Blorble's immense power firsthand, the sheer and total lack of effort involved in each kill, the artistic expression of a man's face who exudes absolutely no expression at all. I travel to Whiterun a hero, vanquisher of the most lethal faction in Skyrim. I hang out with my old buddy Heimskir, who tells me I've come.
You have come. You have come.
And then the best part is when Snorben Blorben says, "It's Snorben time," and proceeds to snorb all over Heimskir.
Someone's being attacked.
Dovakin, Fahim, Kokan, Mutra.